evening. Thank you for the three of you running, for the city council. I just have a couple of questions to ask you. One of them would be the way that they brought the Beacon School in and the Mayoral School. As far as I'm concerned, well, I can't see why we're spending all that money on Beacon School and Mayoral School when not every child can go to that school. They put them in a lottery. So if my kid wants to go there, I can't definitely say they're going to go to the Mayoral School or the Beacon School. And in the meantime, they're taking money away from the public schools. So why don't they just take some of those classes that put in the Beacon School and the Mayoral School, put them in the public schools? Just hire a couple of teachers or a few teachers that they need. Now you got the Beacon School, they got to pay for that building. You got to pay for the heat. You got to pay to maintain it. Well, we've already got public schools. Why have the Beacon School and the Mayoral School? And if you had been on the city council, would you have agreed the way the mayor brought that school in by having one person on the zoning board vote for it and leaving the rest of them out? I didn't agree with that, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. And the second thing I would like is, what are you people going to do about the millions of dollars that we have missing in the pension fund? That's going to be a big problem in a year or two. How are you going to solve it?
Thank you.
So to the first question, I do think that we need to look at Rise and Beacon as separate situations, because Beacon is specifically a skill school. So I certainly think that I'm not opposed to skill-based charter schools in general. So I think we need to work to increase access to things like Beacon, charter schools like Beacon. I am opposed to the Rise Preparatory Academy. It does sort of act in a way that works against the public school teachers in Woonsocket, and I also think that there were some violations of process in the founding of that school. And so in more philosophical terms, I'm opposed to corporate charter schools, and I think that anything where you have a corporate charter school drawing money from the public schools and further hurting the kids, and especially in Woonsocket, who a lot of them are in poverty, further hurting them and their lives and their ability to get a good education, I'm opposed to that. And I think that we have to treat these situations separately now. And to your other question, the pension fund. So that money this year in the budget, I believe $600,000 was taken-ish from the healthcare fund and put to replace the scoop that happened in the pension fund in the previous year. And that doesn't seem like an actual solution to the problem. It just seems like borrowing from the future to pay down the present. So I honestly think that the biggest thing that we need to be doing as a municipal government right now is creative economic development, because by broadening the tax base and the things that I have talked about a couple of times, we can increase the city's revenue and make it so that we don't have to keep moving money around, playing games with our budget in order to just, stay in the black every year.
I got a funny feeling that you asked a question where all three of us are going to agree on. I was on the city council when the Mayoral Academy was brought into the city of Woonsocket. And so that you know, there was a vote that was taken by the city council saying that we did not want the Mayoral Academy to happen. We were overruled by the state of Rhode Island, the school department, and they said the city council has no bearing on whether or not the Mayoral Academy was going to be in the city. It was their decision to do. Number two is the mayor, being the mayor of the city of Woonsocket, because it was a mayoral academy, she was going to be on the board of directors and actually run the mayoral academy. The city council gave her direct order not to participate and not to run that. And she ended up sending a letter to the school board and saying, I have to decline as far as being the chairman of the Mayoral Academy, because that's what I was instructed to do, and by law she had to do it. Well, as time went on, and I have no idea how it ended up happening, but all of a sudden she's back there and she's the chairman of the Mayoral Academy, and I think there may have been something illegal done there also. On the pension fund, listen, I'm going to admit to you that I am not a financial expert, right? There are those on the city council that I'm very proud to say who are financial experts, and I have to lean toward those people in order to help. They will help me make a decision as far as my individual vote is concerned. Keep in mind, no matter what happens, I, as a single person on the city council, only have one vote. It takes 4 votes to get anything done. As a matter of fact, when you make a motion on the city council, you need a second in order to be able to talk about what you want to talk about. So nobody, not one of us is going to go up there and do anything without being able to work with the other people on the city council. And I'm proud to be able to say that 5 of the members on the city council have endorsed me. And so that's one of the things that, you know, I will be able to work with them because we are like-minded.
I thought it was 3. Am I just backstab? Yeah, I have no friends in politics. Okay. First question. When Rise Academy came about, I was, at that time, not appointed to the school committee, and I know why, because I was said, no, our schools are barely seeing the light of day from years of a dire situation. The last thing we need to do is add more financial strain to our public educations that are beyond strained. To this day, it's a bare bone budget. We gotta go back to cuts. The people in the school committee are gonna be hated just like we were. They take any of it, it's bare bone, they don't have extra. Okay, so I would never have supported it, especially at that time. However, I do believe no 2 children learn the same. I like different pathways to education, because some situations work better for some children than others. But however, we do need to be able to afford it without inconveniencing, taking away from other children. And that's what we did. And I understand how the system works. For one thing, I would support every charter school they want to put up if the public schools get to pick their children that go. Let's give them the children where the parents aren't involved. Let's give them the children that need the extra assistance. Sorry, I'm sorry. Now I lost train of my phone. I'm sorry. What was I just saying? I'm sorry. Okay, I would love to see that, but let the public schools, the teachers, they know what I'm talking about, let them pick the children, and we will give them the children that need the extra attention, the extra services, the longer school days, and the support that they don't get at home. See, our public schools, they don't get a choice. Those charter schools, they're picking and choosing. So I think it should be met halfway. Let the public schools say, we're suggesting these children. Then we'll see if it really works. This way, I can tell you what, I was raised very poor. Very poor, single mother, 7 kids. Let me tell you, you got out of bed every morning. You went to the bathroom, you brushed your teeth, you get your hair, 9 yards, got ready for school. Your butt was going to school. She made sure she was home when we got home to make sure our homework was done. We were poor. She made sure school was #1. Don't even think about quitting. It wasn't going to happen. So I am tired of hearing saying, well, parents with no money, they don't care, that's a lie. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with realizing how important your child's education is for that child to be successful. And a lot of parents aren't seeing it. They're seeing it back when they were in the day and basically you showed up and you could pass. They don't realize there's different standards. We didn't have the standards our children have to meet now. It's a whole new ballgame. Okay, I talk forever, so I'm gonna go on to pensions. I wish I could win Powerball, millions of dollars. I would give it to my community. The pension, nobody can come up here and promise you anything. I can't promise you. I know hard financial times. I never made any fake promises to you guys. I told you the truth. Even when it was starting to come our way, I was telling everybody, we're in trouble. But I will tell you what, as it's been said, I pay very good attention to finances. And I will keep an eye on it. And I will pray the stock market does better. But other than that, there's not a whole lot we can do at this time. We have to wait till it comes our way. There's no miracle cure. It's the stock market. Okay, thank you.